Now we're going to do another challenge. The challenge here is pretty simple. What I want you to do is try to reproduce or recreate the behavior that you're seeing right here with the cat. So watch when his tail goes back, a new grenade appears, or a new bomb appears, and when his tail gets to the end point, it launches. So it's not spawning when it's launching, instead it's spawning when it's resetting and getting ready, just kind of sitting there waiting to launch. And then when it's ready, it launches off, and then eventually a new one spawns out. Let's watch it in slow motion real quick. I'm going to zoom in here, and we're going to go frame by frame. So you can watch as it gets down to the bottom, a new one appears. And if I keep clicking fast enough, you can watch it go forward slowly, slowly, slowly. Oh, it's still doing a whole idle. Let's just watch. There we go. It got to the end. I was too slow. But you can watch that it's empty until it gets down to that point and then reloads. So that's the mission. See if you can figure that out. If you get stuck, don't worry. There's quite a bit to it, but it's just reusing a lot of the concepts and things that we've already done. There's nothing new that you need to do. Just redo a lot of the stuff that we've done. See if you can figure that out and then continue on if you get stuck or even if you don't, so that you can see my solution, and we'll see how well they align and match up. Now, to accomplish this task, we're going to do something simple. We're going to extend out this shoot animation wrapper. Right now, it does on shoot. Let's add an on reload so that we can have an animation event fire off when we want to reload and then have our cat do the reloading at that time. So I'm going to select both of these lines, 6 and 7, hit Control D, hit the left arrow, and enter. I'm going to rename the second one to on reload, rename this method to reload, and then copy and paste on reload into there. So now I've got an on reload and a reload. I'm actually going to move my events up and then my methods down so that they're kind of aligned in a way that I think looks a little bit better. I'm going to double check that on reload calls reload and shoot calls on shoot, or reload calls on reload, shoot calls on shoot. Let's go back into our cat now, and where we call our registering for the on shoot that spawns a cat bomb, let's duplicate and add an on reload. Now, to me, on reload sounds more like something that should spawn a cat bomb, and on shoot should probably shoot the cat bomb. So let's rename this one to shoot cat bomb, hit Alt Enter, and generate a method for it. Got to go down and choose generate method. Now that I've got a shoot method, I can take this cat bomb launching part. In fact, maybe I should rename this. No, let's leave it as shoot. I'm going to leave it as that name. I'm going to take line 27, cut it, and paste it over 21. But you notice that we don't have a cat bomb here. This isn't a field variable. This is just a parameter or a local method variable that was around. So let's promote this thing up by removing the var keyword and adding an underscore instead. We'll hit Alt Enter and generate a field for it, and we should end up with a private cat bomb right up here. I'll hit Enter on that private to just clean that up. I'm actually going to hit Shift Delete on the start method too to get rid of that extra comment. Not the start method, but the comment right above it. Now in our shoot cat bomb, we'll add the underscore so that our cat bomb can launch. I'm going to remove this update method down here as well. We can kind of clear out all this clutter and shrink our file down to the size it actually needs to be. So this looks like it should work. It should spawn our bomb at the right time and then launch our bomb at the right time. For it to work though, we're going to need to hook up our animation event. So let's go back in, find our cat's base object, the one with the animator on it, and find the animation window, or just go to window and animation right there, should pop it right back up. And then I want to find the shoot animation. Here you can see we've got our shoot animation event right there at the top. And I want the reload to happen probably right here at the end, either that or right at the beginning. I'm thinking right at the end, so that he has the grenade on his back, like at the end of the shot while he's idling. It's just kind of sitting there ready. So to add a new animation event, all we need to do is right click on this top part wherever we want the animation event and choose animation event, or add animation event. I'll choose the function that I want, which is reload from our script right there, and then we'll press play. I expect to see a couple things. The grenade should appear there. It might act a little bit wonky and weird for a second. Let's see. And then I also expect to see a little error in my logs. But the grenade does launch out. So a couple things to address here. First, when our grenades or cat bombs spawn, they fall to the ground. I don't want that to happen. and they're spinning already by default. I don't want that to happen. And if we look at the console, we have an error here right when we start, because our first time that we call the animation event for our launch or our shoot, which is right here, is before we call the first time for our reload. So we end up calling shoot when we don't actually have a bomb loaded up. So let's stop playing and address all of those issues. We'll start in the CatBomb. When we first spawn our CatBomb, let's make it so that it's not simulated and that the rigid body doesn't move until it's launched. To do that in our awake, we can just say _rb.isSimulate, or no, it's simulated, not is simulated, equals false. I'll copy that and put it down into my launch method right before the add force and change the false to true. That should stop it from dropping instantly. I also don't want it spinning and doing that animation, so I'm going to cache the animator in awake with _animator equals, whoops, let's hit Control Z, it got the wrong thing, equals, and I don't want to get component, I want to do a get component in children of type animator. I'm going to hit home, alt enter, and generate a field for it, and then on the next line we'll say _animator.enabled equals false. We'll copy line 16, paste it down here after 22 onto 23, and enable the animator once we've launched it. Now this should work at least once. We're going to have to do some addressing things when we start pooling this object though. But for now, let's remove the private keyword. On the animator, I'm going to move the serialized field up a little bit, rearrange things so that it's nice and clean, get rid of these 2 extra using statements and the extra line at the bottom, take a look at our script, and I think this looks pretty good. We should now be able to launch and have our object look right, but we still have that issue of we're spawning or we're firing off a bomb before we've actually spawned one. We've got a couple options here. We could either, in our shoot cat bomb, check to make sure that we have a cat bomb, that it's not null, but I think that it's better that we just start by, in our start method, spawning a cat bomb so that we already have one ready to go and loaded up and we don't have to worry about it. Shoot cat bomb should probably set our cat bomb to be null once it's shot. And then in our spawn cat bomb, we can just check to make sure that we only spawn a cat bomb if shoot cat bomb, or if our cat bomb is null if we don't already have one. So I'm going to zoom in here and we'll say if _cat bomb is equal to null. That way, if we accidentally spawn a cat bomb some other way, we're not going to end up with 2 of the bombs stacked on top of each other. We'll always have one until we launch it, and then we'll get our next one. We won't keep respawning multiple. Not that I expect that to happen, but I just like to write it a little bit safer to make sure that in the future we don't have to worry about that. Let's remove lines 1, 2, and 3 here with Shift Delete, Shift Delete, Shift Delete, and I think we are good. Oh, let's get rid of these extra private keywords as well. Shrink this up a little bit, save, and then let's go try it out. This should be the complete solution that solves all of those problems. All right, we'll press play. And there's our first bomb. You can see it starts spinning and launches out. Second one starts spinning, launches out. And watch when it reloads. It reloads when it gets right back to the end, exactly as I expected. All right, I'm going to stop playing, make sure that we don't have any changes to our prefab to override. Go into plastic and say that we fixed cat bomb reloading. And check it in. Oh, got the error there. It's okay. We'll just hit check in one more time. Oh, I wanted to update our animation. It's good. I almost missed the animation file.